Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about that service operation workspace customization. So one of my subscriber asks for a specific requirement. The requirement is like that. The incident record that you can see in this workspace, there is a button called resolve button. The moment you click this resolve button, a pop-up dialog opens. So similarly, they have a requirement like they want to create a button called onhold button here. And then the moment you click the onhold button, the pop-up should be open with the various fields. So that is their requirement. So let's see that how we can achieve into that service operation workspace. The first thing is that we need to show a button here under this workspace. Maybe after resolve or any of this position, we need to show a button. To show a button into this workspace, what we had to do, we had to create a declarative action. So that is our first step to show a button to this workspace. So let's show that button into this workspace. So for that, what you can do, we can go to this left navigation and then type called declarative action. And as you can see that this is that module called declarative action that help us to show these any kind of button. So what we are going to do that we are going to create a declarative action from here. So we'll go here, we'll go to this form and then we are going to put the form name called on hold. Once the form is open, you can see that it is under action assignment, right? And then there is a options called implement as, and there is three options called client script, UFX client script, and then server script. Before we create a new declarative action, let's go and open our existing declarative action for the result button. For that, what we had to do, we had to again go to this table called same table called action assignment. We'll open this table action assignment, and this is the action assignment table, and here under this action label we'll put the resolve button. So we'll put the resolve. Okay, and as you can see that the table name is incident and then action model is form. This one we are going to open that. So because our case is this is for the incident we are talking about. So let's open that. As you can see that the first thing is that label is mentioning called resolve, then action name is called SOW underscore incident resolve, then implement as UXF client actions, and then here specify the client action. It mentioned that SOW incident resolve v2. So this is all is mentioned here. So what we are going to do that we are going to put the similar kind of name called on. Then here you can see the action name is automatically populate called on hold. We are going to put the table name called incident. So we'll put the table name called incident. Then we are going to check that there is a view called service operation workspace. We are going to put that into this service operation workspace here also. Okay. Then we'll change this implemented as to UXF client action. And then here we need to define a specific client action. So we'll open this specific client actions. And as you can see that it's open a new, pop-up. We're going to click the new button here. And as you see that this is actually opening called action payload definition. So there is a one thing called action payload definition. There it is pointing. So let's say that we will put name called SOW pop-up something right now. Okay. And then after that we are going to put call here applicable where it is applicable. So we are going to put that form. So it is going to be applicable under form. Then label we will put SOW pop-up and then submit that. Okay, so we created a declarative action, we created a specific client actions, and then we simply save that. Okay, so our declarative action is created, and as you can see that the moment you created a declarative actions, you can see there is a one list layout item record has been created. So this is the list layout item has been created here called on hold. And if I go back to this workspace, is this button will be visible here? Let's see that. So you just refresh that and the button is not visible. The button you can see is not visible. What is the reason? The reason not to visible the button, we have created a declarative action for incident table for this view, but for which workspace, that also you need to define there. So we say that this button will be for incident table, this for service operation workspace, but there could be multiple workspace. We need to define that for the service operation workspace, the button should be visible. For that, what we have to do, we have to open this layout items record. So once you open this layout item here, you can see that there is a one more related list called UX form action layout. Here you need to add there. So we'll click this edit button and you can see it's showing that call incident as a collection. And if you see this in the bottom, it have a more details called action configuration called SOW action. So make sure that action configuration is called SOW actions. So we'll move from here to this available and we'll simply save that. Once we save that, you will be able to see that the button should be visible to in our workspace. Let's see that. So we added here. Now if we go back to this our workspace and then refresh there, the button should be visible here. You can see that the on hold button is visible right now. Okay, the button is visible right now into our workspace. Okay, now if you want to change the order, maybe after resolve or before resolve, not in top of that, you can simply change that. You can go to this UX form action layout here, and here you will be able to see that there are order here, but although you can see that you can change this order to, let's say that 900 and save that. Other stuffs doesn't have any order, and let's refresh that and see that this button position got changed or not. As you can see that button position got changed, and then this is right now showing after resolve button. So if I click this resolve button, you can see that pop-up dialog is opening, and in this pop-up dialog, some of the fields are visible here. Okay, but if we click this on hold, nothing is happening. So let's first try to do such a way that the pop-up dialog open whenever we click this on hold. So let's do that. For that, we'll go back again to our declarative action, and as you can see that under this declarative action, it's point to a specific client action called SOW incident resolve. For our case, if I open that declarative action, it's also we created a specific client action called SOW pop-up. Let's open this one. It have a one thing called payload. Okay, so it have a one thing called payload. We have to define the payload. Okay, so what we'll do here, I'll just change this scope from here and open this specific client action from here. So we'll open that specific client action. And if you see that, if I click there, there is a payload. We'll copy this payload. Okay, we'll simply copy this payload. We don't need anything else. So we'll copy this payload and then go back here under this SOW pop-up that we have created. We'll click again here to change our scope. And we'll simply define the pop-up here. Okay, now in this pop-up there are few things we need to change that. Okay, the first thing is that we need to change the view. Second thing is that we need to change the state. We'll change that little later. We'll just simply save that. Okay, so our payload is defined under SOW underscore pop-up here. So this is our declarative action. In this declarative action, we have specified a action payload. If I click here action payload, we have defined that action payload as we have copied from here. So similar action payload we have defined here. We haven't changed anything yet. We'll change that later. Now, what is the last steps for showing the pop-up? The last step is that if you go back here under this resolve, there is a one thing called UX add-on event mapping. So there is a related list called UX add-on event mapping. right? So similar thing we need to add there, but you can see that it is not visible here. So you can see that these related lists are not visible here. To make this visible, you can change this form to the default. Okay, so we'll change this to default. And then here you can see that this related list is visible, called UX add-on event mapping. Now we'll create a UX add-on event mapping here. Now this time we need to put the event mapping name. Okay, so let's say that we will put that SOW underscore. So this is the name we have put here. Let's open this one too here from, and then we'll try to replicate the same thing here. So we'll put the element name called UI action bar. So this will be remain same for every time, because anything you are doing for that here in this position, all will be like source element will be. Now you can see that declarative actions, source declarative action automatically set as on hold. Now parent macro component. So this is normally the page name. We can simply go and then copy this SRS record and we'll paste there. And then here we need to define the target event. We'll copy from here and then use the same event name. So we'll copy and then put the same event name. Last, not the least, we have a payload, target payload, that will copy from here. Nothing will change from here and paste here. Okay, and simply save that. So if I go back here, what we have done so far, let's understand here. We created a declarative action. In this declarative action called onhold, and then we define a specific client actions, and here we define a payload. So this is our payload, and then after that we created a event mapping and we copy paste everything from our here. Okay, now let's go back to this workspace and see how it is behaving. Our onhold right now is showing right now, and if we click here, a pop-up dialog is opening. The name is saying the resolve. This resolve questions are like questions fields are showing here. Now we need to change something. Okay, so if I double click that, you can see that these all are coming from a specific. These all are fields from the incident form. They are coming. We had to create a view for this onhold. So let's go back to this incident form. And we are going to create a view for them. So we'll go here, open an incident record. So we'll right click, configure, form layout, cancel. And you can see these are the view already available. So we are going to create another view called, let's say that SOW underscore onhold, and click. So a new view created will remove everything. What we need first the state, and then here we'll put that onhold reason. Add here and then save that. Okay, so basically we have added two fields under the view. You can change this view from here and see that how it is showing here. So you can change simply. And you can see that if we change this state to onhold reason is visible. So this is view. We'll copy this view name called SOW underscore onhold and go back here under this payload. If I open that, we'll update these here. Okay, so here you will be able to see a view name is defined here. So here we are going to place our view name. What is our view name? Our view name called onhold SOW underscore onhold. We just updated the view name. There is another thing called the state field onload. So whenever the field or whenever the form will be open, what should be the state we are going to set there? So what is the on hold state? So if we see that on hold state is 3, so we'll say that whenever the form will be loaded, the state should be 3, and whenever uh, f- the record is going to be set, that what should be the value, we are going to set that 3. Okay, so let's save that right now. If I refresh our workspace, now if we can simply click the on hold, although that on the top it's showing the resolve, we can update this label and then we can update this button, but state and then alt hold region, both fields are visible. And if I double click here, you can see that it is right now pulling from SOW underscore on hold view. Okay, so these are the field called state and on hold region are visible. So let's update this label and then button name. For updating the label, you can go back here and then here you can say that here called on hold. This is the save label, and then here if you go to this title, you can see that here you can update that. Okay, let's save that. And if we click on hold, you can see that this is showing called on hold. Here it's showing on holds, and you can select that specific region called awaiting caller and then click on hold. And we are getting one error as there is a comments fields is mandatory. So we need to add the comments field into our form. So we'll go here, configure that form layout, and then we'll add the um, additional comments fields is mandatory in the form validation. So we'll add the comments also. So we'll put and then go comments here, save that, click on hold. Let's say we'll put something here and then we'll say on hold and then click this button. And as you can see that this incident will be updated state equal to on hold. So this way you can actually create your custom declarative actions, and that too you can show into this workspace without any touching to the UI builder. So that's it for today. If you have any question, let me know in my comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great day.